Well, hello, and welcome to the Tea with Tea. I decided to change where I record again, but I feel like I'm in a new season of life, so I'm going to start a new season of my podcast, The Tea with Tea. I feel like this is just a brand new start. I posted about my time in Thailand and how that affected me and what I learned, and I feel like my outlook on life has changed ever since coming back in a great way, in the best way. So what better way to bring in this new season of life than a new season of my podcast in a new space? This is my bedroom, if you couldn't tell. I had been recording in other spaces in the house that were communal to me and my roommates, and I just decided that I wanted to make it more personal to me. So now you can see a bit more of my personality. As you can tell, I love knickknacks, and these two are full of crystals. I love crystals, and I have the selenite with the chakras. I have a bunch of little Buddhas and Lego. For those of you who don't know, I work for a resale Lego store, and I definitely have Lego. I just don't have enough space to display all of them yet. Once I get my own place, I will have a dedicated area to my Legos, and I'll be happy to share with you guys just a little more insight on who I am and the things that I like. But as far as today's episode, I'd like to ask you, and I'd like you to ask yourself, who are you? What do you truly enjoy? What don't you like? What do you want to do with your life? Who are you? This is a question I've asked myself since I can remember. I've always struggled with that question, who are you? Because I found that who I am changes quite often. And that was not quite accepted when I was growing up. I was told that I needed to figure out who I was and stick to that. And I tried. I've tried for a really long time to decide this is who I am, this is who I'm going to be for the rest of my life. But it just never stuck. I felt so lost. I never felt like I was truly being myself. And I ended up living a life that was not true to me, simply because I was trying to stay true to a version of myself that I decided when I was a teenager. And now I'm completely different. I am not the version of me that I was even 5 minutes ago. I am constantly changing, and I think most of us are. Some of us choose to stay, stuck in our ways, or we decide that this is who we're going to be, and we stay that way for the rest of our lives. I don't think that's the best way to live life, and this is just my opinion. Of course, I'm never going to judge anyone. Everyone is able to live their own life the own way that they want, but me personally, from my experience, it's necessary to change. You're constantly receiving new information, new knowledge, new experiences. So why wouldn't you change after learning new things and going through new things? Why would you be the same person you were before you rode a roller coaster for the first time versus after? Maybe you decide that you really don't like them, or you decide that you really do. Your life will change in small ways after every experience you go through, no matter how small or how large. And I've made a video about change before, about how important I think it is to allow yourself to change as often as you'd like. Your identity shouldn't be based on a list of things that you made as a child or as a teenager and say, this is who I am. Your identity changes as you change, as you go through new things. So allow yourself to just be who you are moment to moment. Like, yes, of course, there are certain values that I hold that will never change, like murder is bad. Certain things that go against my moral code, my own personal moral code, like diddling little kids. Those are some things about me that will never change. I'm someone who, for a very, very long time, was extremely positive, and it actually tended to run people off. And so I started to conform to the negativity. And now I'm finding myself back in the positivity. So many people are negative all the time, and I used to think that I needed to conform to that in order to be normal, but I don't. You don't. I love being positive. I love being happy, even when I'm sick, which that's why I didn't post last week, is because I was sick. I still chose to be happy despite how I was feeling. And that's a choice I make every day, because happiness is a choice. You shouldn't allow your happiness to be based on external circumstances or anyone else. Your happiness depends on you and what you choose to feel. Because emotions, feelings are all choices. Yes, initially when you feel an emotion, it is just like a thought. It comes in or drops in like a notification on your phone. But you choose how long you focus on that. So yeah, you can initially feel the emotion of anxiety or stress or anger, but you choose how long you stay in that state. You choose how long you feel that emotion. You choose how long before the observer in you, the true you, the inner you says, you know what, fear, you can sit down. Let's have happiness stand up now. I heard this actually in a video, I don't know, sometime this week. A lady said, your emotions never go away. They're always there. It's like a classroom full of kids. You have fear, anxiety, happiness, joy, excitement, all the emotions in a classroom, right? And you're the teacher. You're the one saying, you sit down, you stand up. And then there's the observer. If you want to go a bit deeper, a bit more spiritual, or into what you believe life really is and how it really works, the observer is the one that's listening, the one that's observing, watching. And I've done this example before where imagine a blue table in your head, right? You see the blue table? Who's looking at that blue table if you're sitting here watching this video? Or if you're listening, looking at whatever it is you may be looking at, who's looking at that blue table? That's the observer, okay? So sometimes emotions act a little bit more dormant. Well, think about it. A classroom full of kids, if there's an observer in there, they're going to be on their best behavior, right? So think about it like that. That was probably one of the best examples or ways to describe it that I've ever heard. And I'm going to have to adopt it. Like, I don't think I saved the video, so I'm sorry to whoever created this that I can't cite you because I didn't save the video and I don't know who it was, but you are amazing if you ever see this. Or if anyone has heard that before and knows who said it. I'm sure multiple people have said it, but I don't know the specific person that I heard say it. But please comment and let me know who all has said it. And if you know anyone who said it, because it's like one of the best examples that I've ever heard. Because that's exactly what it is. And once I learned that, happiness was the easiest choice. Don't get me wrong, I still have my days. I still am unconditioning myself or deprogramming myself from the programming that was instilled in me as a kid into my teenage years and even into my adulthood. So of course I still struggle, but this is a choice I make every day to be happy. Once I realize I'm in a state of sadness or any negative emotion, negative frequency, vibration, I'm like, okay, why am I feeling this way? And I figure it out. I work through it, no matter how long it may take. Sometimes it may take a whole day. And for some people, maybe even longer. But the time gets less and less the more you do it. So now when I recognize it, it could take me a few minutes to completely work through, okay, I feel this way because of this. What can I do to help the situation or make myself feel better? And then shift my energy into a more positive state. Even if it's not full on happiness or joy, more of a contentness or a neutral feeling. It's better than negativity. And it's all a process. And like I said, it becomes easier over time. But all of this stems from who you are as a person. So when I asked, who are you? What did you think? What was the first thing that came to your mind when I said that? That will speak a lot to who you truly are, your values, how you believe life truly works, and how you want to experience life on a moment-to-moment basis. Because if you're someone who sees the world as negative, money's hard to make, things are scarce, people don't like you, you're not good enough, then that's the life you're going to experience. And I speak that as someone who used to have those beliefs, who used to live a life just like that, because that's what I believed life was. That's the life that I believe I deserve. So that's the life that I lived, because I didn't think that I was worthy of living a better life because of all the conditioning, all the programming of my childhood, even up into adulthood. But if you consciously choose to see life differently and decide that you are worthy, life completely changes. You completely change. Then when someone asks, who are you? You say, I'm a happy person. What's your goal in life? To be happy. Well, what do you want to do? Have happy and joyful experiences. Why does it have to be so specific? Like, people are like, what's your 10-year plan? What do you want to do for the rest of your life? And da da da. I still can't answer that question. I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life. I live moment to moment. So I never went to college, or I took some online classes and it didn't last very long. It was like a little over a semester. What a waste of money. But school was not for me. I was good in school. I got good grades. But it was not for me. I don't want to sit down and listen to someone talk for hours at a time and raise my hand to be spoken to. That's not for me. And then if that's for you, perfect. If you know that that's what you like, go for it. Follow that. Whatever it is that you like that brings you the most joy, follow that. And I don't care if that's school or acting, singing, painting, whatever it is, whatever makes you feel the most yourself, whatever brings the creativity out of you the most, follow That is who you are. And just because that is who you are right now doesn't mean that that's who you have to be a minute from now, a week from now, a year from now. You can change from moment to moment. I've tried so many hobbies, I've tried painting, which that is not my painting. That I got that from Megan Funk Art, I believe is her Instagram and TikTok and all that. Megan Funk Art. Love that. I could never. I've tried to paint and I enjoy it. It's super fun. I painted that one. The little sunflower, I painted that one. So you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to just try things. Whether you're good at them or not, you just have to try. Because if it piques your interest even for a moment, it could lead you to something else that you enjoy. You see what I'm saying? Like, never limit yourself. The limitations are all in the mind. Every limitation you have is self-made. You decide that those are your limitations. Whether it's based on past experiences or programming from parents or teachers or other kids in school, whatever it may be, however the programming got there, however you think the limiting beliefs got there, you choose to hold on to those. You choose to reinforce those. And you can choose not to just as easily. Which is why I post on social media, which is why I have a podcast with only a classroom full of viewers, if that. Half a classroom maybe. But that's not the point. The point is that I have a voice that I need to use. That's my biggest thing that I have been hearing over and over, even when I was in Thailand meditating. My biggest thing that kept repeating in my head is use your voice. And maybe I haven't found my niche or the perfect way to actually use my voice yet, but I will. And I just have to keep trying. And that's why I keep trying. I don't care if I get 1 view or no views. There are plenty of my shorts on YouTube that get absolutely no views. But I don't let it bother me because it's not about the views. It's about finding the way that works best for me to express myself. And I was told for so long growing up that I talk too much. I need to stop asking so many questions. And so now, as almost a 30-year-old adult, I'm finally allowing myself to talk as much as I want and share it online, because maybe my experience will help somebody else. Maybe my experience will help someone find their calling, will help someone finally express themselves in the way that they've needed to, but have not allowed themselves to because of their conditioning or their programming. That's all I really want is to show people that despite what I've been through and all the programming, all of the people telling me to shut up, here I am talking. Tell me to shut up now. Go ahead. Comment. Tell me to shut up. I'm not going to shut up. I don't care who tells me what. I'm going to follow my heart from now on. There's nothing in this world that will stop me from following my intuition, from following what makes me happy, what fills me with joy. Because that is the goal of life. Life is not to just be spent behind a desk in a cubicle, just working 8 to 10 hours a day, if not more, depending on your job, for a paycheck that you don't even have time to go spend, if you even have any left over after bills. That's not life. That's the program. That's the matrix. That's what they want you to believe life is, so that they can keep you controlled. So when you choose to see that and look past that, you're able to expand. You're able to be who you truly are and stop suppressing your expression. In my opinion, that's what depression is. Suppression of expression. So now, after hearing all this, who are you? What do you like? What do you not like? What brings you joy? What do you want to do for the rest of your life? And if the answer is I don't know, I love that, because me either. All I know is that what I'm doing right now brings me joy. And that might change tomorrow or next week or next year. And that's okay. But what I'm doing right now brings me so much joy. And that's what matters. That should be who you are. Someone who chases their own happiness, as long as their happiness is not hurting other people. That's the thing. A lot of people used to criticize me saying that, like, follow your intuition, follow your heart. It's like, oh, well, what if doing that hurts other people? First of all, if you're intentionally hurting other people, then you're not following your intuition. You're not following your heart. That's something different that you need to figure out. Because your intuition, your heart will never lead you to intentionally hurt another being, not just human, but another being. So you got to figure that out. But also, if someone does get hurt by the choices you make while following your happiness, then respectfully, that is a them problem. That is something they need to deal with. Plenty of people have been hurt by me while on this self-love journey of figuring out who I truly want to be just in the moment, figuring out that I'm allowed to change moment to moment. And some people have gotten hurt along the way. But not because I intentionally said, I'm going to make this decision because it's going to hurt you. It's because I made a decision that was best for me. And because of their programming, their belief system, the way that they see the world, they got hurt. And that is something that they need to deal with. And some of them, I love them along the way and explain to them like, I'm making this decision because it's best for me, but I still love you and I'll help you get through this. And some of them just are no longer in my life, which is for the best. And it's probably for the best that I'm no longer in their life. So don't also worry about who may get hurt along the way, as long as you're not intentionally trying to hurt someone. The people that get hurt along the way, it's just showing them something that they need to work on in order to become the best version of themselves. So honestly, you're probably helping them at the end of the day. You're helping them see life for what it truly is and be able to actually work on themselves in the way that they need to be who they truly are, to figure out how life really works and the best way to live life for them. So as long as you don't have malicious intent, don't worry about how your decisions affect other people, especially the ones you love, because you can love them through it. You can love them anyways. You can explain to them, I'm making this decision because it's what's best for me, but I still love you. I still care about you. I still want the best for you. Both can exist. So one last time, who are you? Who do you want to be? And who do you not want to be anymore? Answer those questions and comment if you want. Let me know. Tell me who you were, who you said you were at the beginning of the video, in the middle of the video, and then the end of the video. What's the difference after me saying all this? Has it opened your mind a little bit to allow yourself to be like, you know what? I can change. I can be whoever I want in each moment. And I can do whatever I enjoy, as long as I'm not trying to hurt someone else. I hope that I've at least changed someone's perspective even just a little with this. Because if you saw what I looked like 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago, you'd be like, that's not the same person. And I've showed people the past versions of me and they're like, that's crazy, that doesn't even look like you. Because it wasn't me. Who I am now is the truest version of myself that I've ever been. I'm the happiest that I've ever been. And the money doesn't matter. I don't make much money, but I still pay my bills. I still get on just fine. It's not about the money. It's not about the material things, even though I love Legos. You know, it's not about any of that. It's about what you truly love, and truly loving yourself enough to allow yourself to follow what you love. Follow your intuition, follow your heart. So if you get nothing else out of this video, work on your self-love, because once you love yourself, everything else becomes easier. And I know I've said that before, but it's all connected. Everything that I talk about, it's all connected. Allow yourself to be who you are. Love yourself more than you have ever loved anyone or anything, okay? Thank you for joining me. And I should be posting regularly again every Sunday with my new season of the Tea with Tea. And I really appreciate anyone who sticks around and watches my podcast and listens. Like, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. So if you're someone who has sat through this whole video or watched any of my previous podcasts, leave me a comment so I can share some love. All right? I love you, love yourself, and let's grow together.